Hi there, I'm Lisa-Skye, full-time artist, producer, performer, hedonism muse, fun-time party guy, sparkle puppy muppet dominatrix, and I am glad that I work in an industry where homophobia doesn't exist.
Stop it.
And with me today is Jared Harford. Hi there.
Hey.
And Toby Halligan. Hi there.
Hi there.
And Chilli. Hi there.
Hello.
Hi.
What do you reckon?
That it doesn't exist?
I live in a bubble of queer artists where I forget that homophobia and queerphobia exists. And because I work a lot in advocacy, I kind of tend to think of it as us in the arts versus the outside. I'm wrong, aren't I?
So wrong.
I'm real wrong.
So, my favourite story that I'm never allowed to tell, which is why I'm saying it on TV. Because
lean
I'm not
in,
allowed to tell. So I was fired from a job that I worked at for, it was 5 years. And they pulled me in one day, and this is me being a musician and, you know, clarinet. And they said, your sexuality is too obvious and your personality doesn't fit.
What?
I've been there for 5 years. There was another person on staff who, every time he spoke, a purse fell out of his mouth. And I feel that I'm, you know, when I work in a professional environment, I'm very much like, hi, how are you today? My name is Jared, blah, blah, blah.
You're not like,
But you're
"Oi,
playing a
lose."
clarinet.
I know.
How
Did
is
you-
that not gay?
I want to know that you just deep-throated the clarinet to play it with your
amazing.
throat, just like,
So
The clarinet was shaped exactly like a penis, as all clarinets are.
When I spoke to one of my mentors, and she is an amazing woman, and I rang her up and I just said, this just happened to me. And she go, and you know, I want to do this, and I saw the lawyer, and I, you know, I had an incredibly hands down winnable case, and they just went, yep, you're going to get money, they're going to pay you out to shut you up. And she goes, never say anything, because the day that you do is the last day you will work in the arts. Yeah. And she rattled off examples for me of people who the minute that you say anything, I was a woman and someone touched me, I was a gay and someone did this, and blah, 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 that's it, your career is over. And they, to this day, there is institutions, and I cannot name them, in Queensland who pay performers because they will never work again a day in their life. Yeah.
wow. So you didn't say anything?
Didn't say anything, and I moved overseas, and I had an incredible life overseas where I was like, oh, look, you're allowed to be gay in a Catholic school. This is amazing.
Whoa.
I wonder whether, like, maybe in the Gold Coast, yeah, but really would, like, they have that much sway in Melbourne and Sydney? I just don't know.
Yes, the performance world is tiny. Are you kidding me? Everybody knows everybody.
I guess in like classical music.
Classical music, musical theatre, jazz, even in like musical teaching, as in, I'm going to teach you music. Everybody knows everybody.
I went to an audition. One of my first auditions up in Chile. They wanted to make a boys or girls band. I don't know. There was a commercial thing. And I went down there. I got there. I sent my portfolio. I got called for an audition. Go down. I played music in front of these two guys. And they go like, yeah, you're fantastic. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, we're going somewhere. I'm going to be part of a band. They're going to pay me to play music. You know, I was like, yeah, but we actually just called you because we didn't know if you were a boy or a girl.
And you're just like, yes.
And I was like, all right. I was like 20. And I was like, all right. And they go, we still don't know if you're a boy or a girl.
Wow.
I've been sitting there for an hour and a bit. And I was like, so it's a hard no because, you know, as a boy, you're really pretty. As a girl, not so much.
Oh,
Got sent out. That was Chile, mind you,
Yeah.
not Australia. But I get the same question here in Australia in the tram constantly.
See, I get, because I famously don't have sex with people in the industry and I'm non-binary and into weird stuff, I am kind of half treated as one of the guys in comedy and half treated as invisible, which is hilarious because me and one of my favourite like big butch dyke comedians were talking about how we found this guy to be really nice. He was a really sweet guy, but all of our like cis female friends were like, no, he's a patronising creep, we don't like him. And we're like, isn't that weird that our experience, because he wasn't treating us like women. So yeah, I've kind of had it from like lateral hostility rather than people from higher up.
Yeah.
I'll get a little bit out of that. When I did a catering last year, and I was in a South American group of over 60 years old, and it was raining, so the barbecue was happening outside, and all the men were sitting outside, and all the women were inside the room where the salads were.
Yeah.
And I was floating in between those two things. Outside, all the men thought that I was a boy. And they treated me, I've never been treated with so much respect in my life. Like, it was incredible. They all sort of self-reflected in me. They thought that I was a really young boy, that I was super talented with the knives.
Oh, they had a lot
to
of
make really
advice
good
to
food.
give.
So they were like, no, they're not even. They were asking me for advice because they were like, you're the young generation and you're really making something out of yourself here and we really like you. And every time that I walk inside that room with the women knew that I was a woman.
Yeah.
And they knew that I wasn't pulling up my mark, that I wasn't, so they were angry at me. So I was getting a lot of inside, and I was getting a lot of praise. And then there was a time to sing Happy Birthday, so these two groups got together. And then the men were like, oh, you've seen this boy, it's fantastic. And the women were like, it's a girl and it's terrible. And they were like, what do you mean it's a girl? I was like, look at her, she's got boobs. And the boys then came up to me and they were like, we're so sorry, we didn't realize that you were... Apologies started, the whole like gender confusion apology that goes forever. And everyone, you go like, it's totally fine. Like, you treated me with respect. We made friends. It's been 4 hours, legit. It's been 4 hours. We like build up a relationship in this process. Who cares about what gender you assume that I was? I'm just the same person. You know, and you treated me with respect and it was fine. They're like, no, I'm so sorry, but you don't do that to a lady and blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not a lady.
You're making
God,
it worse.
you're making this worse. We were so fine. But then the most creepy thing happened. They all wanted to hug me and touch me.
You get that a lot, especially in the UK, women's bodies being public property.
Yes.
I get touched on the streets so much of like, you know, if they need to move me, even though there's heaps of room and...
I mean, having just lived in the UK, though, that's a very normal thing. Like, I will physically shove you out of my road because you happen to be walking, like, an inch on my side.
You bittersweet symphony them.
Isn't the English word for that to manhandle someone?
Yeah, like...
I think that we should change that.
Yeah, like, because it tends to be, it's a different thing of like shoving someone because you're just being a precious little bitch. Or like, if I, as a man, walk past you as a man, fine, but then walk past you as a woman and be like, oh, sorry, sweetie. It's real cooked. Notice, next Edinburgh, notice. Yeah, you can bittersweet symphony everyone, but you notice, like straight guys do it. Now, have your time again, just before we wrap up. Would you speak out or would you silence yourself? Reflections upon past behaviour.
By staying quiet and moving overseas, I've had a great life.
Wow. An interesting, sticky situation. Thank you, Jared Harford. Thank you, Toby Halligan. And thank you, Chilli. I've been Lisa-Skye for Bent TV. Mwah.